So, Srivali,
Yeah.
so we have gone through these chapters about introduction of the ML labs and getting started with Azure ML labs, data management and preparation in Azure with case studies, and model development training. We have discussed it. Model deployment operations also discussed it. Now, our next topic is continuous integration and continuous deployment within the ML
Mm,
labs, where you will be using CI/CD of DevOps activities.
mm,
Let us go through that chapter. Okay, so setting up CI/CD pipelines, how it happens. CI/CD pipelines can be set up using Azure pipelines for automating build, test, and deployment workflows. So, development life cycle will have code repositories. From there, you can build it and test it and deploy it. That is the process. GitHub
mm,
actions are what for integrating with GitHub repositories. You
mm,
have account on GitHub. You can upload your code into the repositories. Those repositories connection can be given in the Azure pipelines parameters.
mm,
Okay. So integrating with Azure DevOps, how it is. Integrate Azure ML
mm,
with Azure DevOps for seamless CI/CD pipelines. How it happens? First, first thing is version control. Use Azure repositories for source code management. Yes, obviously. If you have source code, yes, you can do that. Build pipelines. Automate model training and testing. Yes, building pipelines is, let us say you have code. That code is
mm,
calling the database. That database is there
mm,
in the data lake or Databricks in any of these areas. So Python code is reading the data from
mm,
that. Then that is
mm,
also called you are training the model to filter the data or fine tune the data or something. If you have a feature
mm,
engineering task, yes, you can do that also. Okay, for that purpose, you will be building and you will be automating the model training and testing. Release
mm,
pipelines, automate model deployment and monitoring. Yes, so this is all is going to be automated with ML activities
mm,
through the repository management, code repository. The best
mm,
practices are for CI/CD in ML ops, automate everything from data preparation to model deployment. Version control is track changes in code, data, and models, obviously. Continuous monitoring ensure models perform well in production. Most of the times, when you deploy another model, code change will happen. When code change will happen, you are going to update in CI/CD pipelines with new releases, new pipelines, all these things, right?
mm,
Then here is the case study. Let us see CI/CD in a tech startup. A tech startup needed to rapidly iterate and deploy new ML models for their
mm,
recommendation engine. Okay, what is the solution? They set up CI/CD pipelines using Azure pipelines, automating the entire ML lifecycle for data preparation to model deployment. So
mm,
even for data preparation, you can call that particular activity within
mm,
the data factory or data lakes or data breaks, such kind of activities through Python code,
mm,
right? That Python code
mm,
is a code repository coming from code repository. When you are building it, automatically you are going to run that code. When you are running it, you are training that particular system, ML system, right? Then integrating with Azure DevOps ensure seamless version control and collaboration, enabling them to deploy new models weekly with minimal manual intervention. So the periodicity can be decided weekly or daily or monthly, something like that. But here, why Azure DevOps is coming means if you go back to this one in this
mm,
activities, 1 minute, let me go. See, MLOps is there. What is the MLOps process? It has got workspace. You are going to create workspace for ML resources setting. What are the ML resources? Sets and data stores. For data store management, you will be using. Then you are going to use compute resources. You are going to use pipelines for orchestrating ML workflow. These pipelines can be connected. The pipeline ID can be given here from the DevOps pipeline also. Then model
mm,
registry, we discussed it. Then endpoints, you know that. Then when it
mm,
goes to there are particular resources for data management. You take a blob storage. Blob storage is going to create through Python code only. Again,
yeah.
optimizing for data analytics also, you are going to use Python code, right? So
Okay,
relational
yeah.
database connectivity is there with Python code only. It means everything is connected to the Python code. But Python code purpose, we are using Azure DevOps. That is going
Mm,
to trigger that in the pipeline. When it is triggered, it automatically the services of the ML are going to be initiated. Now, data
mm,
ingestion activity, if you take it, here Azure Data Factory is there. You are orchestrating data workflows like you have streamlining multiple files into data sets
mm,
differently. Then that is pipelined it here under data pipelines. Then Databricks is used for data transformation purposes. Okay. Then analytics
mm,
also you are going to use it. So once all these all are done, then the final code is executed. Then you're going to see in the analytics dashboard. Okay.
mm,
Then versioning is there. Dataset versioning also can be done along with the Python code version. If you take version 1, version will have some set of data files. Then version 2 will
mm,
have different sets. Then data labeling also are going to do that. Then
mm,
another thing is here model development and training. How are you going to do in connection with ML and how it can be updated there? You are creating Jupyter notebooks with Python code.
mm,
Those notebooks are part of the Python code. That Python
mm.
code is connected to the CI/CD pipeline for deployment. When that code
Okay.
is deployed, you are going to test it automatically.
Mm,
Then these services are triggered with MLOps operations. In MLOps series of activities, we have seen that. So then
mm,
automated feature engineering model also can be executed with the Python code only. Okay.
mm,
Then experiment tracking. Yes, logging and comparing experiments can be there through the dashboard. So when you create the notebooks, yes, it is going to be there in the code also. Python code.
mm,
Auto ML is there. Automatically, you are going to build and tune models. See, Auto ML can be used to build particular model and tune it. What is the model here? Pre-processing is the activity you are doing. For that, you need to design the model, how it can be processed the data, how feature engineering can be done, in what
mm,
databases, what parameters you can use it. Okay,
mm,
all these things. Okay, so this is the way it is connected to the CI/CD pipeline, where the code is automated. That code is under CI/CD pipeline. With that, you are going to deploy that code. When it is deployed, it is going to execute the ML options, machine
yeah.
learning options. Okay, so best practices are automate everything from data preparation to model deployment. Version control can be there to track the changes in code, data, and models. Continuous monitoring is there with that. Okay, then example I have discussed here. Okay, so the second example is large enterprise. What they wanted to do, they required a robust CI/CD process for manage multiple ML projects across different teams. They
Mm,
implemented CI/CD pipelines using Azure DevOps with separate build and release pipelines for each project. Azure repos facilitated version control, and Azure pipelines automated model training, testing,
mm,
and deployment. Yes, these are the activities they are going to do with that CI/CD. Normally, CI/CD pipeline is nothing but you are going to deploy into particular environment. That environment can be called QA testing or integration testing or stage one, stage two, like that. Okay.
mm,
The standard approach improved collaboration, reduced deployment times by 60%. This is also going to reduce the efforts if you are automating it. Okay. Then model
mm,
monitoring and management is Azure ML monitoring will happen for tracking metrics and performance. Custom dashboards are for visualizing key performance indicators. You need to design these things actually when you are doing it
mm,
to show that under monitoring. Okay. Then
mm,
retraining and updating model. Automate retraining and updating model, schedule retraining, set up regular retraining pipelines. That is also a code again. When you follow retraining, it is a cyclic process of the ML deployment. So you are updating the code. In that, you are adding components, you are adding some data sets. Yes, automatically the pipeline is triggered, the CI/CD pipeline. Automatically the ML ops are triggered, right? Actually, the ML ops is related with the ML lifecycle activities. CI/CD pipeline is related with code deployment into particular environment. Then that
Yeah.
code, when it is executed, the ML ops activities are triggered.
Yeah.
It means the DevOps and ML ops are aligned together to be executed by the CI/CD pipelines.
No, but the ML ops, the way it's described, I think it's different. ML ops means if you have to fine tune a model, you have to write the Python code and all that, right? So if you want to iteratively fine tune the model, you have to run that in a CI/CD pipeline.
Yes, yes.
So, but if you say DevOps, DevOps is a little different. DevOps means you develop an application and you deploy it.
No,
Um,
no. The DevOps is like that only. But you are talking about pipelines in CI/CD.
yeah,
CI/CD is continuous integration, continuous delivery of the agile practices.
yes,
That's where these ML activities are connected there, because I am retraining the models under continuous integration and continuous delivery. For delivering,
yeah,
I need CI/CD pipelines need to be created. It is nowhere connected with the DevOps. DevOps is development and operations.
yeah,
That is a
yeah, yeah,
separate phase.
yeah,
Nowhere connected for ML.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. These two are not connected. DevOps and ML ops are different.
Okay, the development is happening another side of ML project, and it is directly connected to the CI/CD pipelines.
Yeah,
When you say DevOps, development is happening. When development happens, development activities will
yeah,
run as it is
yeah.
like
It could
SDLC.
also, yeah. What if actually a developer can actually use an ML model in his code, like a cognitive service. The developer could use the cognitive service in his code. That cognitive service might be based on an ML model. But ML ops, so basically, so when the developer is done deploying, developing, so the deployment and everything is taken care of DevOps, right? But
No, 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 not
ML
DevOps. DevOps activities are different. DevOps is development and operations.
operations, yeah.
Here, it is not called development. It is called model development, model training,
Yeah, this is
model
model training.
testing,
Yeah,
model building.
yeah,
The concept is totally different, not
yeah, yeah. That's
related
what.
with software development life cycle. Dev is done
Yeah,
through SDLC. You have to
yeah,
segregate the process here.
yeah.
Machine learning is totally different concept.
Mm.
There also they develop, but it is called ML life cycle, ML development life cycle. We have discussed it in other documentation also earlier.
Yeah, ML development is different. Yeah,
Hmm. Yes,
ML
activities
is
are different.
basically you're fine-tuning the model is what you're doing.
Yes, yes.
That's yeah,
So both are having different tracks. DevOps track is different. This track is different. But CI/CD feature can be used. Services, Azure services feature can be used by both DevOps as well as ML ops.
yeah.
ML machine learning has got its own process, like retraining, redeployment, all these things. Once deployment happens, machine learning operations team will take care of that.
Mm.
What is their operation? Like personalization checking, recommendation system checking, maybe translation services outputs are checking, all that separate activities.
Mm.
Okay, but here also you'll get incidents. There also you'll get incidents. That process is same operations, because both
Mm.
are applications.
Mm.
Both will have live. So hence, we should not get confusion between DevOps and ML ops. There is a separate
Mm.
track for that, and joining in the pipelines. But both
Yeah,
pipelines are not same. Not same.
yeah.
They're
Both
different.
pipelines are also different. Yeah,
My code is designed only for ML operations.
yeah.
That code I am doing in the pipeline activity by adding the patches, by adding fixing issues, such kind
Yes.
of things. Okay. So
Yeah.
we should bring that concept in our solutions basically. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to. There are so many examples I pulled it. Offline, you can discuss it also. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
offline, sorry, you can look into the document offline to get some clarity on that. Okay, I'll stop recording.